The honourable member for Calgary-Midnapore.
Thank you very much. Madam Speaker, the facts don't lie. The leader of the NDP with this Prime Minister voted for the carbon tax 24 times, and they will do it again next week. This leader of the NDP, along with the Prime Minister, will quadruple the carbon tax in the spring. He's the one who created the coalition agreement with this government that has doubled mortgages, doubled housing prices, and has sent 2 million Canadians to food banks. Right. So this coming Monday, the leader of the NDP has a decision. Will he continue to prop up this Prime Minister for his pension, or will he call a carbon tax election?
No. So again, I would just, it's very clear that individuals are playing with words and that these questions are not to do with the administration of the government. You cannot ask a leader of another party or other members to respond to these questions. It should be to the administration of the government and to the government to respond. The honourable member for Calgary-Midnapore, I hope that her other question is related to the administration and is asked to the government. Otherwise, the honourable member will I will have to cut her off. The honourable member Calgary-Midnapore.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Well, just over 3 months ago, the leader of the NDP ripped up the agreement he had with the government. He had the agreement with the government, Madam Speaker. He said that the Prime Minister was too weak, too selfish, too beholden to corporate interests to fight for Canadians. So this coming week again, on Monday, Madam Speaker, the leader of the NDP has an opportunity again to decide if he will prop up this government again or not. Is he going to prop up the Prime Minister or allow Canadians?
Again, the honourable member knows full well, I just warned her, and she knows full well that she's not to ask questions of another opposition during question period. She is supposed to ask the government questions. And so this has been going on for quite some time. I would just ask members to please make sure that their preamble has more to do with the work of the government so that we know that it's going in the right direction, or at least that their end of their question has to do with the government and the administration of the government. The honourable member for... sorry. The minister wants to respond. Oh, I see that the minister still wants to respond. The honourable minister.
Well, I think what's really important is to focus on some of the issues. And one of the issues that Canadians are rightfully asking about this House is about the concern about foreign interference and things such as how do we target foreign interference. What I find fascinating is that we've had a lot of discussions about the leader of the NDP. That leader has actually had the courage to get a security clearance and get a briefing to help to protect this country. In fact, there's only one member of a party that has not done exactly that, and that is the leader of the official opposition. For a man who would purport to assume and want the highest job in this country, I find it actually quite appalling that he doesn't have the courage to work on getting a clearance, getting a briefing, and protecting this country.
The honourable for Regina, Wascana.
The fact is the Liberals are too weak, too selfish, and too beholden to corporate interests to fight for people. Those are the words of the NDP leader who continues to betray Canadians by propping up this failed Liberal government. The leader of the party that used to represent workers now props up a government that raises the carbon tax, makes homes unaffordable.
I want to ask members to please settle down and please extend the respect to the House to the person who has the floor. I will find out soon enough what the question is, and we'll go from there. And if this continues, as I said, we will have to go into a practice of pulling questions from those who are who are trying to pose questions. The honourable member for Regina, Wascana.
The leader of the party that used to represent workers now props up a government that raises the carbon tax, makes homes unaffordable, has lost control of the deficit, and lets crime run loose on our streets. On Monday's vote, will the Prime Minister continue to hide behind the NDP, or will he finally call a carbon tax election?
Hear, hear. The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.